give a warm welcome for Jada Johnson.
Thank you. We're going to start out today by talking about perfection. And this presentation will not be perfect. I am not perfect. Some of you may be close to perfect in the audience, but you're also not perfect. My goal for you is to learn to overcome that perfectionism, and we're going to talk about taking imperfect action. So what can imperfect action do for you? It's something that will actually improve your business. It will help you achieve more sales and have a better life with business if you are not perfect. This is a great example of perfection. This is an entertaining one. How many of you know who this is? Monica. Monica with Friends. I mean, I think most of you do know. So she is vacuuming a vacuum. Vacuuming a vacuum. Talk about perfection. Now, we don't want to be Monica, okay? We don't have to be that level of perfection. We don't need to vacuum vacuums. But there is something called professionalism, and I completely believe in professionalism. Professionalism and perfectionism are two different things. So professionalism, for instance, look at AGC. Is this a professional room or what? I mean, you all look extremely professional. Travis always shows up, suit and tie. You know, it's a professional atmosphere. But when you walk in here, it's not perfect. Nothing you say is going to be perfect. Maybe you have your drill down on, you know, your how you introduce yourself, that kind of thing. But the bottom line is there's going to be mistakes made, and that makes you real. So you want to think, I want you to not think that I'm talking about not putting it on your LinkedIn profile. Put a good picture, okay? You want to have your branding done. There's certain things that the professionalism is important, but nothing's ever going to be absolutely perfect. So this is something that's an interesting stat. A lot of you in this room own businesses, correct? Own businesses, entrepreneurs, you've started your own business, you're a motivated person. I believe most of this room is gifted, and most of us are gifted in some way or another. Well, 88% of gifted people have perfection tendencies. So think about that. So we need to overcome that perfection. And perfectionism can truly stop you in your tracks. It can truly stop you from taking action. So how can we take imperfect action? How can we do this? I'm going to be bringing up a lot of marketing tips. I come from, as you heard, an internet marketing background, so marketing is kind of where I go. So I'm going to be talking about that, but there's a lot of ways that maybe you're starting your own business and you feel like, I can't start my business until I have that perfect website. No, it's not true. You know, there's many ways. Back in how I actually started on Facebook was I used my husband's contracting company as a guinea pig, and we didn't even have a website. And we just thought, throw some pictures on Facebook, start a Facebook page, and that's actually how I started doing Facebook. So the bottom line is, it doesn't have to be perfect, but there's a lot of things to think about when you're doing your marketing pieces with taking action. So here is one. How many of you in this room have done a Facebook Live? How many of you have done a Facebook Live? Okay, keep your hands up. Okay, it's about half the, oh, look at the back of the room, it's like all got their hands up. Okay, how many of you have done a Facebook Live and made a mistake on that Facebook Live? Okay, all right, perfect. Okay, thank you for participating there. So bottom line there is that is probably the #1 way to take imperfect action is go live. And I'm not talking just Facebook, it could be wherever, it could be Instagram Live. Today, for instance, I decided to hop on Instagram Live. That's kind of my new thing. I'm kind of pushing over to Instagram more. And in my Instagram Live, it kept saying the internet wasn't working. And you know what? I just laughed it off. I just moved on. I just said, oh, sorry. I don't know. Something's going on with the internet, but I'm going to keep going. It's the best way to overcome perfection is go live. Go try a live. That is my challenge for you. If you have not done a live, go try. Just hop on and do a live. Now, there are certain things with a live that are important. For one, you want to make sure sound. Don't be in the wind. Don't have the crazy windy sound. It's best if you can put your phone on a stand. Don't have it all shaky, but there's lots of people that walk. Gandhi in the back room, king of lives. So, I had to point it because he loves doing those Facebook lives, that's for sure. But bottom line is, it does need to be semi-professional. So just remember, professional, but it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, so the next one is creating a video. Now I bring this up because it's another important aspect to your marketing. But the thing is, if you're not ready to do the Facebook Live or whatever live you're doing and you're not quite ready to go live, it's the next best thing. So take action and do a video. And the reason I'm using this example here is because this is my podcast partner, Terry Bean, and you will see him again in a minute. But we joke because he's definitely, what do you call it? The bottom line is he's definitely imperfect, okay? And he admits it. It's quite funny, but you know what? Look at this. This example here has 2,500 views on LinkedIn. And what did he do? He just grabbed his phone at a meeting and he hopped on, took a video, wasn't shy about it, and he has all sorts of comments, and he does this all the time on LinkedIn. So videos, they don't have to be perfect. People think, there is a place, Dan Rollins in the back of the room, there is a place for very high produced videos. There's absolutely a place for that, but not all your videos have to be very highly produced. So I think get comfortable doing videos. It will really help you in the end grow your business. Launching a Facebook ad. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because obviously this is kind of my area that I do, but secondly, I have so many clients come to me that need everything in place. What if we use this graphic and it doesn't work? What if we don't have the right offer? You know what? How do you know until you test it? The thing about Facebook ads is it works once you've tested it. And you don't know unless you try and take that imperfect action. It's not perfect when you start, but what you end up doing is learning along the way. This is an example of different graphics that we tested, for instance, and we tested 6 different graphics. We learned from the data, and the one with the pineapples won. And then you learn from your data, and you do get to that more of a perfect ad after you learn from your data, but until you launch it, you just don't know. So that's for Facebook ads. And then interesting thing is Carrie just mentioned that she wants to potentially launch a podcast. How many of you in this room have a podcast? Anybody in the room have a podcast? Okay, yeah. Anybody thought about doing one but just haven't wanted to do one? Oh, a lot of hands go up. Okay. Honestly, there is no better place to take imperfect action than a podcast. It's just very, very authentic and real. And if you want to get authentic and real with your potential customers, a podcast is the best place to do that. So consider doing a podcast if you haven't done one already. And if you're thinking about it, do it. All right, so where can all of this imperfect action take you? Where can you end up with it? It took me to Egypt. Some of you know this story, and some of you know it very well. I could speak honestly for the next hour just on that trip, but bottom line is how it worked was in October, I got an email, and how many of you, if you got an email from Egypt, might kind of go, okay, yeah. So I got an email from Egypt, and it was asking me to go speak in Egypt and fully paid trip at a 5-star resort, and I'm like, oh, sounds cool, but it's so fake, Anyway, October 31st, I was on a flight to Egypt, fully expense paid, with my mother-in-law because I had to find somebody quick and they fully paid for the second person too. And I sat at a resort and spoke I was not on the stage, but I was at the World Youth Forum with the president of Egypt. So the president of Egypt was at this entire event, and it was amazing. It was amazing. So you can see some of the pictures there, and you can see I was on the stage with some of the top influencers and internet marketers in the entire world. So amazing things. And why I'm bringing this up is because if I was not taking that imperfect action, would I have gotten there? Absolutely not. They found me. When I got there, I asked the gal who sent that first email, who I thought was a scam. I said, how come I'm here? Why am I here? Why'd you choose me? And she said, we scoured the internet and we found your YouTube channel. My YouTube channel does not have one professionally produced video. And I'm telling you, it's mostly just our podcasts and some other things that it's not a YouTube channel that I work on a whole lot. And then she said she found our podcast too and went through and knew that I knew how to speak and certain criteria that I was using. So because I took that imperfect action, by no means, nothing on the internet that any of us do is perfect. I had a nice trip to Egypt. Number 2, bring you sales. So this is a cool story, and I have numerous stories like this, but it was super recent. I hopped on, like I told you, Instagram Live is kind of my new thing. Hopped on an Instagram Live. I don't remember what I taught. I like